Slide 29, Lesson 2, Nouns, Plurals, Gender, Feminine. We've had a look at the masculine nouns in the previous slide. Now let's have a look at the feminine nouns. Again, feminine nouns have the letters vav, tav, ot. It's a vav with a holum at the above it, so it becomes a o sound. Feminine plural endings have the ot added to them. So let's have a look at some examples. Alright, if we again have a look at the word for horse, but the feminine singular version of it, so that's for a mare, a female horse. Horse is sus, and a female horse, mare, is susa. Susa. Samak vav, samak hay. Mare. And the plural is susot. Mares. Susot. Samak vav, samak vav, tav. So the word, remember, for the masculine for horse is sus, and the plural for horses, male horses, was susim. And now the plural for female horse, susa, is susot, mares. So male horse is sus, and the masculine plural is susim, horses, male horses, and the word for female horse, mare, is susa, and for mares, susot. Let's have a look at another one. Torah is one that we should all be pretty familiar with. Torah. Tav, vav, resh, hay means the law. Well, it means more than that. It means to fire an arrow or something going in the direction of. So the Torah is actually pointing the direction towards Yahweh, and in particular to his son, the Mashiach, Yeshua. And the plural of Torah is Torot. So Torah is actually a feminine noun, and its plural has a feminine plural ending, ot, at the end of it. So Torah becomes Torot, laws, or translated laws. Likewise, the word for commandment. We have someone who has had a bar mitzvah. They are a son of the commandment. Bar is another word for son, and mitzvah means commandment. Mitzvah, commandment, is a plural. It's a feminine noun. And so the plural, mitzvot, is commandments. Mitzvot. So mitzvah becomes mitzvot. So here we have the vav being used both as a vowel and it's got the os sound, but it's actually being used as a consonant as well. So it's mitzvot, mitzvot. Another feminine singular. Now this one doesn't have a hay at the end, is ruach, spirit. Ruach, resh, vav, chet. Ruach, spirit. So this is, some feminine nouns have the hays, but some don't. But it still has the feminine plural ending of ot at the end of it when we say spirits or ruchot. Spirits, ruchot. The word for mother, em. Aleph mem, mother, em. And if I want to say mothers, I go amot, mothers. Bat, which means daughter, and it's related to the word for house, bait, or the letter bet, which I often say bait. My apologies. Bat, and the daughter, and the plural bar not. Now here, it's not bar tot. It changes to bar not. Bar not. Daughters. So there's a few words like this, and you just have to learn them, or just recognize them when you come across them. Bar not. Daughters. Nephesh. Nephesh means soul. Nun, pei, or fei, shin. Soul. Sometimes translated life. The life of the soul is in the blood. The life, the soul, the high of the nephesh is in the blood, dam, nephesh, soul. That's why we should never drink blood, or should always have when we eat meat, it should always be well drained of the blood. Nefeshot, nefeshot. Souls. Eretz is one we mentioned before, which means land. Eretz. It also means the earth. And the plural is aretzot. Aretzot. Lands or earths. Father, Av. There's the Aleph Beit. The Aleph Beit is the father. And the plural is Avot. Avot. Fathers. And last but not leastly, Chalom, which means to dream. Dream. Chalom. Chet, Lamed, Vav, Mim. Vav again is being used as a vowel. Chalom, Vav. Off sound. Chalom. And the plural, Chalomot. Dreams. Chalomot. So that's all for the feminine plural nouns. So the feminine plural nouns have an ot at the end, whereas the masculine nouns that we saw in the previous slide have an im at the end. Slide 30, Lesson 2, Summary of Noun Endings. So let's summarize what we have just seen regarding the noun endings. For singular nouns, the masculine singular does not have a letter added to it. It is just left as it is. For example, davar. It doesn't have any fancy letters at the end. So in many cases, a word just as that, just the three-letter root, without any letters added to it, it's a masculine noun. And davar in this case means word. Feminine singular nouns can actually have a hey on the end of them, but sometimes they don't, like the masculine nouns, and it's just a matter of learning them. You actually have to learn them, or at least recognize them when you see them. If it's got a hey at the end, it's often a feminine singular noun. Sometimes the singular nouns can have a tav at the end. I haven't shown you any examples of that, but they can have a tav at the end. So the feminine singular word here, Torah, means law. It's a feminine. It's got the hey at the end. And the plurals, masculine plurals, end with a im, herik yod mem, and im. So davar becomes devarim, word becomes words. And the feminine plurals end with ot, vav, holom vav, and a tav, ot. So Torah becomes Torot, law becomes laws. Now there are some exceptions to these rules. For instance, the masculine singular word for father, av, actually has a feminine plural ending. avot. So it's not avim, it's for fathers, it's avot. It's got a feminine plural ending, which is a little bit confusing. But you soon become aware of the exceptions, the common ones anyway, just by reading them. You often come across the word for fathers, the fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. Also, many feminine singular words do not have a hey at the end of them. So many do, but many don't. This one, aretz, doesn't have a hey at the end of it, but its plural is still a feminine plural, aretzot. And you don't necessarily have to learn all of these when you're just passively reading the word, but you do the Torah. But you do need to be aware that that masculine plurals have an im at the end of it, and feminine plurals have an ot at the end of it, and that feminine plurals often end singular words often have a hey at the end, whereas masculine singular words don't. But sometimes the feminine words don't also.